So who has range? Well, definitely them. Just like Leon, like you guys have 0 range. Who has initiative? Probably you guys. They don't have a main tank. I mean, you have a term, and that kind of sucks, but yeah. Who do you want to focus? Well, what I'm seeing here is 2 nasty matchups for Bounce House Buck, and you've got this really cool little offlane thing going right here. So right away, I think you guys are going back to front. So you're looking to kill backline first, tanks after. So just so you're aware, this mount is pay to lose. It is like, look at the size of this thing versus like, that's supposed to be a different color, but like, you know, like it's massive. It's massive and it's loud. So this is a pay to lose mount. It looks very pretty, but it's pay to lose. You might want to drop to your tire and 2v1 them, but this is fine. Hey, look, there's your backline. Now I know you're not really able to support this. This is kind of a, when you have 2 teams that want to go back to front, you enter what I like to call a backline race. And backline races are really fun. I love backline races. Basically, it means both teams are just diving past each other, right? Like red team will go backline, blue team will go backline. They're just gonna pass each other like 2 ships in the night, and the backlines have to just live. Like your goal is to just live, and it's super fun as a support because you can live because you're on Damba. If you're on like IO or something, this is awful and it's hell on earth. But you're Damba, so you can live. So like if you play it well enough, you're just not gonna die. You'll live forever, which is really cool. That's not the fastest way to get to your Tyra. Just drop down here. And if you do drop down here, really good corners for you to play with. You can wall jump off this wall and still heal your term, potentially still heal your ruckus, even especially if you just peek out here. You said it. You asked to be nitpicky. I'm gonna be nitpicky. She lives if you're there. Now you probably die too. At the very least, now you have to 1v1 a world champion DPS player, right? Which, I mean, sure, it's doable. He's half HP, but like, what if he gets a Sarah seal? Right? You're screwed. There's nothing you can do. That sliver is bad because you went into a wall. Bonk. Bonk. Why? I mean, this is bad. This is bad because I mean you didn't have to use it. Worst case scenario, you just like listen. Worst case scenario, right? You don't have to sliver. Okay, so what slivering does is it makes you invulnerable. You can't be shy. You know what else makes you invulnerable? Walls. Walls make you invulnerable, so you can just use walls. Just back here. Oh wow, you're invulnerable. That's crazy. You didn't have to use a cooldown to do it. So this is risky, right? Right away. Right away. Why is this bad? And it's bad because you're wide peeking. What are you wide peeking? Well, I don't know, but like this is sending off alarm bells. Even if you're gonna play down here, right? Get close to a wall. Hug the left wall. Hug the right wall. Do something. What if? What if? Who's respawning here? Who's respawning? Is it the Leon? It's the Ash? It's the Ash. What if the Leon Q that just happened 15 seconds ago? What's the cool? 15 seconds ago? Was on you. It could have been on you. She had LOS. What if that happens? She mounts on you. Where do you go? You have to sliver away. Best case scenario, you're out of the fight and live. Worst case scenario is you die. But you can see how this could have been bad, right? And it's bad because of like the mistakes that you made. You could have been perfectly safe during this entire fight. Just left click. Like the ideal scenario for you in any fight is to be behind the people that you want to be, right? So like if you're playing off points, usually like backline. If you're playing more aggressively, it's usually behind your offlane or in some way you can support the fight, and you're just able to output. That's your goal as a support, is just to live and output. So like output damage, healing, CC. Damage, healing, CC, right? So you just want to put yourself in a spot where you can do that, and you have not done that. This is probably worth pointing out. Look how much ult charge you have. First of all, you probably have more ult charge if you have this at a higher level. Secondly, you have more ult charge, and you have ult if you just stayed on high ground. It all snowballs because you like slivered off, then your positioning was funky, and like because you forced sliver, then you missed sliver, then you wide peaked, then you have to back up, and that's costed you ult charge. Now you don't have ult, and it's like you could have died. You know. Like that's a great fear. That's great. But like it could have been earlier. He could be healthier. And notice how, like, this is a rough spot, right? You have LOS up here. You know who doesn't have LOS on up here? This dude. Wow. So you did end up getting punished for it, right? Because what makes you invulnerable? Sliver and walls. There's a world where you just stay high ground, you just output. Your fear keeps this term alive. Maybe your fear even sets up your ruckus dive because you were in a spot to LOS him earlier. You fear the ruckus dive and you killed 2 people, and this fight doesn't even happen because you've killed 2 people with your ult from your better position. So what yeah, that's unlucky by the ruckus. I mean, that's just a feed. But you trade. He made space. Liquid's too far. Doesn't matter though, because Charm sucks. GG's. Get out. 4v3. Oh, never mind. He's gonna get reversal. Okay. What is this position? Again, I'm going to beat this into your head until whenever you're not hugging a wall, you start feeling anxious. Not literally, but like, that's what I've done to myself. Whenever I see this, it's like, oh god, what's gonna happen? Alarm bells. What are you not near? I mean, you sliver. That's great. Like, you see him just taking, like 1,000 damage for no reason. Like, if you were just behind a wall, like, if you were hugging this wall, like, you just dodge the on-Q by using a cooldown, then Andrew comes over, it's like, well, cool. I mean, you can just walk away. If he chases, then you can sliver, right? But I'm not saying, like, never use sliver, but like, you wanna have that thing. Why sliver? Where are you going? You're speeding your charm? I don't hate that. Notice, okay. Wow. Alright. What could have saved you if you were playing next to it? That's a I don't know. Now, to be fair, you died behind it, but you do get punished right here. Now your tire's gonna get 1v1? No? Maybe? Saris! Thank you, Saris. So, like, positioning-wise, right? This is bad. Why is this bad? Well, you can't see anything! How are you gonna help anyone? So it's like, well, where do you go then? Well, it's like, I don't know. What's happening over here? I'd like to be right here. This seems like a safe position. My team's over here. My tire is there. I'm kind of surrounded by my team here. The Andrew wants to get to me. The tanks want to get to me. They have to go through my team. I can just kind of sit back, left click, right click, Q, E, hit buttons. So I think you notice, like, but like, notice like it's your Tyra who's over here. She has no mobility and she got over here. You're straight up just not noticing what your team's doing sometimes. Oh shit, my term died. Wait, what's my Tyra doing back there, you know? Because you were looking at Ruck at some point. Now, to be fair, what is your Tyra doing back there? But, you know. Like, what the hell is this? Or it's just gonna like slide on you, pop ult, there's nothing you can do. Or he's gonna beef slide. Good job, Aura, you suck. Gord. Use the cooldown! Like the prio on the ruckus. I'd probably Gord point, right click the buck. I really like. What's important here? Is this important? My man is spraying NSFW paladin sprays on the wall? Or is this important? Oh, he gets forced out. Oh, it's a shame. If only he didn't get forced out. Nice guard though. It's like that's the thing though, is that like I feel like I don't know, you're not healing people. I feel like you're healing people after they fight stuff sometimes. It's like your Ruckus was fighting stuff and you're like, oh, I'm gonna heal you back up so you can go in again. No, you want to heal them while they're fighting so they can fight gooder. Oh, those wall things are turning into who knew? Who knew? Like, what's your buck doing? Dude, he's 1v1ing Andro, and you're just like, my full HP Ruckus, my beloved. Don't worry, I got you. Like, this dude is struggling out here, man. You're Ruckus, fear not. Like how much result does this man have? The Andro? None. You go, like, you can literally go kill Rock Monkey. Do you not want to go kill Rock Monkey? And it's really easy. go. What's your team doing? Go follow them, and then you press buttons at the enemy team, right? Like you ult that. Look, they're both down there. How much Riesel does Aura have? None. He doesn't even have a slot to buy Riesel. You could have just killed 2 GM players with you and the Buck by following your team and hitting buttons at the other team. I don't know. That Gord bounces into a good spot. What's your Tyra doing right now? Well, what's happening to your Tyra? Well, she's fighting off the siege of Troy. Don't worry. Are you gonna heal the full HP Buck? Oh, my Tyra's low. Oh, let me heal her up after the fight's over. And who is taking a fight? This man! Well, let me heal him up after the fight's over. Hey. And you get there. You do get there a little late, though. He lives, so, like, good job. Like, that's great, but... Like, if you're there faster, like, you could have ulted and just killed both of them. You know? So let's just like see who's taking fights. What should be going? What should you be paying attention? What's important? Let's break this down. Let's break this screenshot down. What is important on your screen right now? What is the important information? I'll give you a hint. There's 2 things. At least 2 things that there's a lot of important information on your screen. But there's 2 things that like I think are important for you to work on, right? So one is going to be the obvious thing, which is this bozo. He's jumping in. How can you help this guy? Well, he's probably going like up here. So either you probably go up the stairs, you maybe get LOS on him. The other thing that I want to point out is that you're wide peeking again. Unlucky, he fed, you did your best. Notice how you're like not in a spot to like do damage though, damage or CC, right? If you were closer, if you were hugging a wall, you would salt the Andrew when he dies and your buck lives. And that's a +2 player advantage. Like what's going? I don't even know what Leon was on. What are you doing, Aura? Okay, he's just trying to save KD, but like you want to get involved in this, right? Also, you have morale, and you like have ulted once, and it's been on that Andro that you missed. Like, use the ult, please. Thanks. Like, good players aren't buying Riesel against you. You know why they're not buying Riesel against you? Is because they don't need to, because you're not ulting. You get dismounted, unlucky. Hey, you see how you're completely safe now? There's nothing this Andro can do to shoot you? That's crazy! Walls. Walls go really hard. What's going on in your backline? Or in their backline? What's important? Right? So right now, we have, classic example, backline race. This Andro is going to try to kill you or Tyra. The Azan that's coming behind him is going to try to kill you or Tyra. Your Ruckus is going to be trying to... Someone's to his left. Leon's below him, and Saris is right there. And your Buck is right behind... This is really good timing from your team. What the hell? So, your job is to live, right? Live or kill their backline. That's a big ult. Yeah, I mean, hey, you went for it. I mean, if you hit Leon, that's fine. You missed, but it is what it is. How did your Tyra die? Did you notice? Honestly, I don't think it was on your screen. I didn't notice myself. I know she was like in trouble. She was above you a second ago, but what if your ult was there? Because you knew what your team was doing. And like, when I say pay attention to what your team is doing, I don't mean you need to know the positioning and cooldown of every single player and every single ability at all times. Like, that's great. That's great if you can do that. Right? But like, what's important here? Because I'm not asking you to keep track of 5 people and like doing all their cooldowns and the Andro dashes and how much ammo the Andro has and the ults and the items and like there's too much, right? Maybe you can get to that point eventually. Like I can't. I don't check builds. Like I'll check Riesel. I can generally track cooldowns and locations pretty good, but like it's not reasonable, right? So you gotta like pick the important information here. The important information in this game is like these 2. It's basically always your backliner and your off tank. I don't care what my main tank is doing. Main tank is a dookie ass role right now. Like he's gonna be on your screen. You'll probably see him. I'll throw my turn heal. But like the important people to keep track of are gonna be this Tyra and this Ruckus. So let's keep track of them. Same thing. If you're the Saris this game, you'd be keeping track of like. Well, honestly, you'd probably look to keep track of your Andro because you know it's Rock Monkey. He's going to carry the game. But, you know, you'd probably keep track of, like, the Azan and the Leon. What's your Buck doing? And now you only have 2 people to keep track of. Like, that heal is so good! That heal is so good. Let's watch how impactful this is. Okay, well, he stacks his own heal with it because he doesn't freaking trust you.
Enemy dub, look out!
Like, your team's kind of being a bot, but in the meantime, Rock Monkey is kind of destroying you guys. You know what? Rock Monkey's a really good player, but it's really hard for him to win a 1v2, right? 2 1v1s in a row with a Sarah's heal, right? He can do that. But, wait, he's killed the heal free, goddamn. But a 1v2? That's hard. And you can make a 1v2 happen. It's like, oh, well, how does... Wow. You're dead too now. Does he get the penta? Aw, your Ruckus is a bitch. So, like, you can stop that from happening literally just by keeping track of where your team is. Like, you don't even have to do anything special, right? Like, you just have to be there. This morale boost that you bought is getting a lot of value. Have you ulted since you bought morale boost? Like, dude. What's your team doing? Well, your Tyra's walking forward and your Ruckus is in the backline, so where do you want to go? Well, you basically got 2 options, right? You can walk with your Tyra, or you can go to the backline with your Ruckus. You have ult. You have Sliver. You can make a play here. Go. Push. Like, your Ruckus probably still gets it, right? But what if their Saris isn't making the same mistake that you've been making this entire game, right? What if their Saris is right behind their Leon and is healing? Well, then your Ruckus probably doesn't get the kill, right? I don't know how online Cauterize is at this point, but 2v1, Ruckus should lose that. 2v2, with you there, with your ult there, easy kills. Kills, plural. Now, that's great that you steal a kill on the Azan. Oh, hey, did the Sarah show up? No? Ooh, Rock Monkey showed up. Huh! It turns out that even Ruckus into Leon, which is one of the freest matchups for Ruckus, is really hard when it's a 1v2. Who would have guessed it? Oh, you're just gonna try to slide out? Yeah. Ooh, does he get the penta? Get the penta. Get the penta. You lose this. Rock, what are you doing? Okay, Rock? Rock, what are you doing? So I get it. I mean, he's probably gonna hit Rock eventually, right? No, he gets out. Yeah, you probably just look for a kill there instead of a generic ult. You also dropped again for no reason. That's cool. What's your team looking at? Sure. Sure. Okay. I think this was more of a generic ult on, like, I'm going to throw ult at the everything on the objective, and that's, like, not great. It's very likely to work out, just statistically. Like, hitting a lot of people is probably going to work out. But if you had just hit the Azan, this all would be fine, because the Azan probably dies for this. I hear footsteps, yeah. Oh, wow. Look. You ulted the Azan. This is your 3rd ult of the game. And it just resulted in a kill. How many ults do you think that you could have gotten off in 18 minutes with a morale boost free? I don't know how you end up in this spot. But, like, if you're just high ground with your Tyra, right, if you just stay high ground, you just 2v1 the Andro, you have LOS on your team when they go into that room. So, yeah. 1v1s, hard. 2v1s, very easy. Your team's still gonna win. You beat Rock Monkey! Good job. You need to look for people, right? This is gonna be off tank in your backline. If you can keep track of more people, do it. That's great. But, you know, like, ideally, you're keeping track of 10 people, their cooldowns, their HP, their ult stats, their items, and their builds, and their talents. But that's too much. So just keep track of what your off tank and your backline are doing. Use walls, they're free. And don't hold ult. Your ults were fine. Don't hold ult. As well, be specific. Get a kill with your ult. Don't just throw it at 5 people. There's a chance that doesn't work out and you just wasted your ult. It's very likely to work out because you're hitting a whole lot of people, but it's better to have a specific goal. So just look forehead. The easiest way is to look, because I'm not just gonna say just look for just look forehead, right? So when do you look, right? Downtime. You look during downtime. when you're fighting stuff, you're thinking about other things. You're thinking about like mechanics and like HP and whatever, right? Thinking about a lot of different things. You're not thinking about like what's going on. You're thinking about this when you're reloading. Look around when you're reloading. It's 2 seconds. You look at it when you're just AFK in backline, in your own backline. So when you're just sitting back and healing, just like take a moment, say, okay, this is where my team is. When you're like 1v1ing Andro and popping out, like you don't have to worry about where your team is, right? You're just focused on the fight. You look during downtime. Okay? So, right. I hope that is good. Can I get back to lobby? No? Okay, we're stuck here. So I'm going to go have fun with the bots. I hope that VOD review is helpful. Remember, you can always get your own VOD review by submitting it in the YouTube comments, the Discord, the Twitch. Yeah, so let me know if you guys have any questions, and I'll see you all next time. Bye-bye.